What's up, homies? Welcome to another trailer reaction from Heroes Reforged. We're reacting to the brand new SDCC trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. I did not get to go to this panel, so I did not see this trailer beforehand, so I have no clue what is in this, but I have heard from some of our homies who I ran into at SDCC. Thanks all of you for coming by and saying hello. This trailer is really dope. So I cannot wait to see it, and I can't wait to see Augustine's reaction to it.
I'm so excited. So I realized that the last time I read the Silmarillion was probably back in like 2003. So I need to do a lot of brushing up, and
that's almost 20 years.
I know.
That's exactly disgusting, first of all. Second of all.
Okay, first of all, try to read the Silmarillion. It's going to take you 20 years to read it. It's dry.
Yeah.
It's dry. People were saying that I got my facts mixed up, and I was like, you're right, I did get my facts mixed up. Let me get everything all in order. So for the past like 4 days, I've been watching Lord of the Rings videos back to back.
First of all, time out. If anybody's in our comments and they're not nicely telling Augustine he has some facts wrong, if any of you mother being mean about this, you can kiss my brown ass, because this man is the nicest and he knows everything. And if you're not welcoming, if you're not open-hearted, if you're not excited that somebody's even talking about your nerdy shit, then shut up.
Oh my god.
Make me so mad. I'm like, dude, I mess up details. I mess up Marvel details.
That was worth the 2-hour drive I just took home from San Diego.
Adam, if you messed up like DC or Halloween details, it's like, that's even understandable. And those are like easy to understand details. Augustine's fucking talking about like the third age of the gilded Silmarillion trees of might and light. Like, give him a break, dude. You have to be a scholar to even be a nerd of Lord of the Rings.
So these are the names I have to keep in track. Feanor, Fingolfin, Anundir, the Battle of Bar-Katur or something like that.
Well, there's a reason why Middle Earth was always my weakest category in the Schmodown, because I could not remember those names. Can you tell us all the dwarves in the Hobbit? I'm like, Scrappy, Scroopy, Doopy, and Mopey? I don't know.
Yeah, that's who they are.
You gotta be a 50-year-old white nerd from Connecticut to know any of that stuff, retain it. You gotta be fucking Stephen Colbert. And you guys
was
are
at the panel, actually.
You guys are giving my dude Augustine Rios a hard time. How dare you? How dare?
It's all good, baby. I got this. Okay. I got this.
I know you do, but I'm just saying. I hope that they're very like lovingly helping you, remember that 20-year-old lore. God forbid.
It's okay though. I got this.
Feanor with Mayanor or whatever. Like, jeez Louise.
Feanor and Fingolfin. Yeah. God forbid.
This is the perfect time to let you know that we're going to be doing a watch along of the entire series as well, and we're going to do a revisit of the movies. And we'll have those watch-alongs all available on our Patreon. Check that out. Links are down in the description down below. Ready to watch this trailer?
I'm ready. And don't tell them to sub. Tell them to sub.
Yeah, subscribe. Otherwise, Augustine's gonna kick your ass out of this channel.
We thought the war at last was ended.
That's a lot of helmets.
That's a lot of helmets.
Our days of peace begin.
We thought our joys would be unending.
So beautiful.
We thought our light would never dim.
The skies are strange.
I
like that accent. The skies.
Skies are strange. Okay.
The moment we feared.
Oh, I remember that thing.
The Palantir. Wow.
Evil does not sleep. It waits.
Beyond the darkness, tempting shadow, to bury us all beneath the mountain.
Whoa. That's cool.
Name, but many.
Looks cool.
Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
Ooh,
there it is.
We go.
Whoa.
What the hell?
Cool makeup.
Okay.
Whoa.
Right on. Ooh, what blade is that?
If the evil rising is left unchecked, it will take us all. shadow will not find you.
Whoa.
Together we can survive this.
Cool.
Fight with me.
Let's go.
Oh, this looks so
Each of us
rad.
must decide who we shall be.
Whoa.
There can be no trust between hammer and rock. Eventually, one or the other must surely break.
That's a good line.
You have been told many lies of Middle-earth.
Oh.
Oh no! Damn.
Spooky. There's some spooky
Okay.
moments in there.
Okay. Finally, a little more context here.
Oh.
Here comes the Balrog.
Balrog, baby.
Whoa.
Balrog, baby.
One thing I will say is just from my experience of I mean, we've all been in Hall H. The experience of watching these trailers on those massive screens with the crazy sound system, it is like unlike anything. So I knew when I would come home, I was like, I'm gonna watch this shit on YouTube. Damn it.
With tiny headphones.
Yeah.
Because
always
you were saying
frustrating.
that the bass was like rumbling, like
Holy
shaking.
crap. They were testing trailers and I
Yeah.
could hear it outside. That bass was so strong.
Right.
They bring it.
That's awesome.
They bring it
Okay,
on.
question, guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about, given that I know a little bit of the context,
Mhm.
I want to know how you guys feel about potentially not knowing anything that's going on.
Very different tone than Dungeons and Dragons. I feel like a bit completely different. but you know, when we did this Dungeons and Dragons trailer reaction a second ago, like we were talking about how fun it is and how it's not even trying to be Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
And it's so cool to know that like we're in a time where we could have two versions of fantasy with big budgets and stuff. You know what I mean? And one version looks so fun, and this version in a completely different way. As soon as it started, I just get settled into this like really comforting thing of like, I'm about to watch Lord of the Rings, and it's going to be beautiful and like slow and methodical and just such a great tone. And I'm going to get into it, and then it'll be intense, and then it'll be back to like a nice, you know, like slower pace. It's just that Tolkien. If you've ever tried to read it, he takes 40 pages to describe a tree. And there's a comforting thing to that because it's just very like the most classic high fantasy. And to hear these characters talking about what's happening and how it's happening and how it could affect them with like, you know, the world is this and Middle Earth is that, and you don't know the legend of the Lothlorien, Mothlorien. It's all just kind of nice and kind of rolls over me, and it's just like I'm really excited to settle into this world, you know, and just enjoy it week to week or however it's going to come out. So, but it is a completely different enjoyment than something like Dungeons and Dragons, where you just want to have a beer, have a good time. But, it looks beautiful.
I totally agree with you. I think the reason I'm so excited to watch this show is because I don't know the lore so well. It will make me pay attention to the show that much more than if I was watching something that I'm very familiar with. If it's based on characters or material that I know, then I feel like I can kind of get away with, you know, paying attention, but I don't have to know every single detail to really understand the context. Whereas with this, and even with the movies to a certain extent, you have to watch everything with kind of precision and listen to what they're saying. Because if you don't listen, you'll miss who's the character, where are they, wait, where is this in Middle Earth? You'll kind of miss the context. And I think for this type of a show, it's kind of important to pay attention to all those things. Even, you know, again, with the movies, I've seen Fellowship multiple times at this point, but it's been helpful to rewatch it because the more I rewatch it, the more I kind of remember some of the details, and it gets a little easier to digest. Because I mentioned this before, Lord of the Rings has always been kind of like a weaker spot for me because I can't remember it as easily. Because the names, a lot of the stuff starts to blend together, and you know, some of the characters in Lord of the Rings, I'm like, you all sound like the same 15 characters. I don't know who you are. So I think that's the thing that I'm looking forward to, is just really letting myself be absorbed into the world and the way the show looks, the way it sounds, the way it's being acted. I feel like it's going to be very immersive, almost to the point that I'm like, I wish we almost could watch this in the theater because it looks that quality. But I am excited to, see whatever they do the release. Usually Amazon does weekly releases unless they premiere with multiple episodes. As far as we know, they're doing one at a time for this. Probably because I think it's going to be so big and epic that I think doing more than one might be a little overwhelming. But I am excited for that reason to kind of just like tunnel vision and focus on it.
Yeah. Well, so I found myself doing something really strange just in the span of this 3-minute trailer. As I was watching it, I had to kind of remind myself that like I don't need to connect all the dots at this point in time with everything that's happening, right? Like they're just showing us flashes very much on purpose because these stories are so huge and complex that for me, it's easy to get lost trying to connect the dots and I'll stop paying attention to what I'm actually seeing. Like there's so much beautiful cinematography going on. And there's so much going on in the frame that it's easy for a fan, and which is why I think a lot of people are acting negatively towards it because they're already trying to connect all the dots rather than focusing on like, look at this beautiful piece of art that we're watching right now. Like they're taking the time. Somebody said this Lord of the Rings will be more expensive than any show ever created ever. And so I'm just like, yes, that's the kind of love and attention that I need on the project that I love so much, right? Like we're lucky to be able to get this level of production on a series that was thought impossible to make to begin with. And so that's what I kind of have to like kind of shut my brain off a little bit and just enjoy it. Like, I don't know what battle's happening right now. Like, I don't know which elf is talking to who, even though I've spent hours and hours and hours trying to learn this stuff. So I need to like shut it down. And then I'm sure the writing will be to the point where if there is something super important that you need to know about the lore, they will let you know and explain it. Because that's what a good show would be, basically. So I need to remind myself to keep doing that because now I'm just rewatching this on loop as we're talking. And even without the sound, I'm just like, this show is incredibly beautiful. The set looks, the sets look amazing. The costumes look amazing. Just everything just looks incredible. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
And I want to say this too, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, look, this is Saturday night. Adam drove home to LA from San Diego, and earlier this evening, Marvel just blew out Hall H with like all of their plans for upcoming stuff. And every single one of those things, I think, is going to be a remix of Marvel Comics. Marvel, DC, these kinds of brands have, even Star Wars, to the extent of looking at older, like expanded universe novels and comics and stuff. They're looking at that stuff for inspiration. Marvel looks at the comics for inspiration, and then they remix it. So it's sometimes fun for fans to speculate, oh, what are they pulling? How are they remixing it? Blah, 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 blah. I just want to put out here that I don't think that the writers for Lord of the Rings of Power, are taking a similar approach. I'm sure that they are updating, tweaking, whatever they're doing, adapting the material for a show, just like even Peter Jackson did with the films and the Hobbit movies. I'm sure that they're doing that, but I don't think that they are playing as fast and loose with the Lord of the Rings lore as other studios are with other IP. So I just want to put that out there. I feel like they know how important it is. I feel like they know that they would be kind of really, really risking fan, frustration and rejection more so than Marvel fans who they like comics too, dude. But honestly, most people don't even read comics. It's about the movies and it's about the cartoon shows and whatever. So I just think that if things aren't clicking, I'm sure that the show, like you're describing, Augustine, is going to have everything fall into place and lock into place and really be a great translation of some of the material that we haven't seen in the Lord of the Rings adaptations and stuff. So, yeah.
It's funny that you say that, Hector. There's a moment in the documentary of Lord of the Rings, of the behind the scenes stuff, in which all the actors are talking about how they would get revised scripts daily because Peter Jackson was just rewriting the stuff daily. Like even stuff that they shot the day before, they're like, no, you need to update this line so it says this. We think that this part of the book translates better if you do that. So I think you're right. I think hopefully they take that mentality. Hopefully they've watched all of that stuff because it's just a masterclass on how to create such a massive franchise and what it takes to actually put on something like this. And so I just hope, and to me it feels like that's what's happening, but we shall see. The only time will tell. I can't wait to watch this though. This looks incredible.
We're almost there. A month and some change, and we'll be there. Hopefully, maybe we'll get early access to some episodes. Who knows?
Hell yeah.
It'll be fun.
Come on, Papa Bezos, please let us see your show, Papa Bezos. We'll take care of it. You're in space. Come on, do it. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, guys, let us know in the comments below what you thought about this San Diego Comic-Con trailer for The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. This is probably the longest trailer I think we've gotten so far. So if there's any other Easter eggs we might have missed, let us know. Maybe a little bit more context. Maybe you can name every single character in this trailer if you're really a scholar. Okay. Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in the next reaction.
Bye.